Hi guys, this is Clancy with Scientific 710. In this video I'm going to give you just a real quick run through of our hydraulic loader unloaders. These hydraulic cylinders are all food grade stainless steel. They produce 12,000 pounds of force, a little bit over actually, plenty of force to do what needs to be done. They both load columns and unload columns in one shot. Our hydraulic power unit, this is the reservoir here. It's filled with food grade hydraulic oil. It's USP certified H1, H3 and FDA approved, and it's basically a glorified white oil. This is a 24-inch stroke cylinder, all stainless steel of course, and this is a 32-inch stroke cylinder. This is a 48-inch stroke cylinder. The 24-inch weighs about 35 pounds, the 32-inch weighs about 45 pounds, and the 48-inch weighs about 55 pounds. Now right now all these have 6-inch diameter flanges and plungers for your typical 6-inch columns. These flanges and plungers can be changed out if you upgrade down the future, go to a bigger column, or if you have multiple column sizes. And they swap out, the flange has 6 nuts and bolts in it that come out, and the plunger has 1 Allen that just comes out and you put a new one in. This is an example. This is the 4-inch all the way down to the 12-inch size. We can make any size. Depending on the length, when you get down to the 10 and 12-inch areas, depending on the length of the column, we might build you a little larger diameter cylinder. This is a 2-inch bore. When we get to the 10 and the 12-inch diameter columns, we typically step it up to a 2.5-inch bore, which produces about 20,000 pounds of force. Some questions I've gotten are concerns about the integrity of the columns. This column is one that we fabbed up. It's a typical 0.109 inch wall thickness, and these columns can handle about 60,000 pounds of force. So this producing 12 is more than you need, but it's way less than what the column can handle. So you're good to go there. The weakest link in this setup is going to be your clamps. So obviously bolted clamps can handle more force than say a hinged clamp. We've done hinged clamps on this, and granted they're brand new hinge clamps, so the threads were perfect, but we've ran them at 12,000 pounds of force and had no issues with breakage. So the advantage of the hinge clamp is you want to be quick. The whole idea of this whole process is to speed up and reduce labor of packing columns and unpacking columns. So if you can get away with using a hinge clamp, then great. And if you go beyond the hinge clamp's rating, it's not that big a deal since there's no hydrocarbon going to be in these columns, and there's really no risk of explosion when you're loading or unloading a column. Unloading, there can be a little bit more, but you know, the column's already open, so if you break a clamp, the worst it's going to do is just pop off and you broke a clamp, so you put another one on. These cylinders all come with a blue stripe marking the top and the bottom of the stroke, and there's a magnetic ball right here that comes off and goes back on. It's just a magnet, and you'll see here in a minute when I run this that what that does is it indicates where the plunger is in relation to the cylinder. So when this plunger is inside of a stainless steel cylinder, obviously you don't know where it is. So this basically will just tell you where your plunger is inside of your cylinder. The power unit uses about 11 amps maximum on 120 volt electricity. So your standard 15 amp, wall output USA plug is all that's required. It's really simple. You've got a remote here. It's just a handheld remote. It's got an up and down on it. So it's pretty self-explanatory. One just extends the plunger and one retracts it. This is a double acting cylinder, so fluid comes in one port and out the other for one motion, and then reverses for the other motion. Our hydraulic hoses are made by Parker, and they're rated for 5,000 psi. This hydraulic power unit goes up to 4,000 psi, and that's when you're going to get your 12,000 pounds of force out of this, which is way more than typical processors would need. You get 10 foot of hose unless you specify otherwise. Each build is a custom build, so you tell us what you need and we'll make it for you. You need 20 feet of hose, we'll give you 20 feet of hose. So these guys right here, these are just your standard stainless steel hydraulic quick connects. So you just pull them back and pop it in, and it'll make connection. You can't hook these up wrong because one's a male and one's a female, so it's no-brainer. This is the pressure gauge that's going to indicate from 0 to 4,000 psi of how much force this cylinder is producing. And it's a dual stage pump, so it'll operate really fast until about 2,000 psi, and then it'll step down into the second stage where it will go a little bit slower but produce way more force. So I'm going to turn this on so you can hear kind of the volume of the pump. When compared to a pneumatic compressor, even the quiet pneumatic compressors, this is quite a bit quieter than those. So you can talk over it, and that's on. And the other really cool thing about it is any of you with experience with hydraulics know that hydraulic power units can whine a lot. These pumps don't whine, so that's kind of nice. So we're going to extend this all the way off to 24 inches, and you're going to see this ball move along here. And you'll see the time that it takes to fully extend and fully retract. It'll take in the neighborhood of 14 or so seconds to extend and about 9 seconds to retract. So it retracts faster than it extends, which is pretty handy. So here you can see the balls. There's 3 of them all the way around, so you'll be able to see that when it's running into your column. And that's fully extended. So at the fully extended spot, you can see the pressure gauge go up. It'll max out at 4,000 psi. So it's a bit foolproof. You're not going to overdo it. And that's the plunger coming back. And then that's it. So when you're packing a column, of course, we'll go over packing and unpacking columns in both vertical and horizontal configurations, with and without our horizontal and vertical stands and our adjustable stand that actually holds the cylinder for you. So all those will be separate videos. We'll show you how to change the plunger and the flange out for any other cylinder size, and you can get an idea of how long it takes. It's actually pretty quick. 6 bolts and an Allen, like I said. Other things you might need to know. So when we send you your custom build, we ask for about 2 to 4 weeks. Just depends on our workload. So if we're not too crazy slammed, we can get them to you in 2 weeks. So we can build them about a week and a half and get it to you. If we're slammed, we ask to have that 4-week period of time. So this guy, the reservoir is going to come to you empty, and there'll be a little warning label on here too, letting you know don't operate it without fluid. So the first thing you're going to do is over here. I know here, let me turn this so you can see it. So this unit right here is 55 pounds, just to let you know. So it is kind of heavy, but it's manageable. This is the breather. So you pop that off, and then you would put a funnel in here, and you'd fill it with 1.9 gallons. And we'll send you 2 gallons of brand new hydraulic fluid with your order. Obviously we can't ship this with fluid in it, so you'll need to add the fluid. It'll come with the hoses attached. Everything else is good to go. So all you'll need to do is add fluid, and then you'll take your hydraulic hoses and you'll attach them to your cylinder. Your cylinder is shipped with fluid in it, so it's already full. So once you top this off to the sight glass right here, then you've got 1.9 gallons in there, and you're good to go. So add fluid, plug it in, plug in your quick connects, and you're off and running. That's it. I'm Clancy. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.